This is Morning Perfect Base. I am Ben Velding. I'm going to work on my base a little bit, god damn it, each day. And after a couple of weeks, we're going to see how much progress I've made. So what I'm doing here is I'm cleaning out the central plaza of the village section of the perfect base. So that's basically just going to be defining the edges, then cleaning out. I got a lot of stuff. I don't want to drop things off at the warehouse yet. I don't want to put things in storage yet. No, I don't want to walk all the way over there. I want as much stuff as I could possibly get before I go over there. So, shit. Okay, I do not want to talk about the Trump administration. I never do. I don't. I want to talk about fucking Magic the Gathering and goddamn Keyforge. But it shouldn't dominate the news cycle, but let me give you bullet points and then break it down. Okay? The president fired the attorney general who had recused himself from the Russian investigation. He unconstitutionally hired an acting attorney general, who has stated that he would shut down the Russia investigation. He lied about a reporter, administrating an aide's attempt to force a micro away from that reporter and then barred the reporter from the White House. His administration then posted a doctored video of that aide's failed attempt to force a mic from the reporter to try to support their lies about an assault. Wow, guys. I wrote this on the Friday that it happened. So I'm sure that by the time this is read, recorded, and edited, and posted, we're already going to be talking about whether the shooting of American citizens can be justified if a rookie ICE agent thought they looked a little Mexican-y. But here we go. What? Kids in tear gas? Oh, okay, well, I was close. This Friday, I started reading the paragraph that I just read. The firing of Jeff Sessions is obviously one step on a road by the president to shut down an investigation into whether or not he colluded with the Russians in the 2016 election. Did his campaign work with a representative of the Russian government to gain assistance in beating Hillary Clinton in Trump's bid to become president? There is a mantra that reasonable people use to describe how Trump supporters handle negative press about the president. He didn't say it. And if he did, you didn't understand it. And if you did, he didn't mean it. And if he did, it's not a big deal. And if it is, others have done worse. You have to overcome 5 levels of denial from his supporters to make any point. So let's head this off. Other countries shouldn't be interfering in our elections because money equals free speech is part of our law. Countries can use that big free speech to affect our elections on a scale that regular citizens cannot. The big dealness of this seems super self-evident, but having non-citizens weigh in on elections undermines our right of self-determination and removes power from the American people. With, empowering the American people being a bedrock principle of this country, it's not acceptable. Also bad is the fact that we often compete with other countries. Don't know if you've heard about this. Certain other countries are a threat to us and they would love to undermine us to establish power over us or deprive us of resources for us to distribute in the way that we think is best. We often oppose other countries, even allies, on a variety of issues. And the only motivation for a country to sink massive resources into affecting our government is to gain an advantage at a cost to us. All caps that. The only motivation for a country to sink massive resources into affecting our government is to gain an advantage at a cost to us. For a group of assholes who have a hair trigger on imprisoning Hillary Clinton for a terrorist attack and an IT failure, these people are wet powder when it comes to collusion with a foreign government. The notion that anyone has done anything on the scale of the actions suspected by Mueller in the Russian investigation is ridiculous. The Trump campaign's alleged Russian collusion is unprecedented, and no one has done anything on this scale before. We should punish people who do this because maybe I'm the one on crazy pills here. American politicians should not be selling themselves to the highest bidder. Okay, I might actually have to delete what just happened in the Nether. I don't know where I ended off with, but the TLDR is that it's bad. No one has done anything worse than what the Trump campaign allegedly did, and all that's left is to determine whether or not his campaign did it and whether he authorized it and what we're going to do about it. So Attorney General Jeff Sessions handed in his resignation as requested. Sessions had recused himself from the Russia investigation, and this had incensed the president, who wanted to use the power of his office to quash this investigation into his activities. I'm sorry, illegally use his power to quash the investigation. And after the opposing party won the House of... All right, I'm definitely cutting what just happened, okay? I didn't get lost in my own fucking nether. Anyway, whenever I say that Matthew Whitaker was hired as an acting attorney general unconstitutionally, I do mean that he is supposed to be confirmed. The acting attorney general has to be a person who has been confirmed by the Senate even in a different role. Just in some way, they have to have been confirmed by the Senate. That sounds consistent with the breaks from the law, the illegal actions that the Trump administration has previously taken. When I say illegal, I'm referencing things they've done which they haven't defended in court, and which they have done in court, which have been struck down. If you believe they acted in good faith and with the intention of following the law and were simply mistaken on all of those things, I'm not going to argue with you. It would be very out of character for this administration to perform an act of self-restraint. In a culture that stems directly from the president, they perform whatever actions they wish, even when advised beforehand that those actions will not hold up in court. And they waste government time and government money making people fight to bring them before a court so those actions can be declared illegal or unconstitutional. And doing things that are illegal or unconstitutional, because no one has stopped you yet, means that those things are illegal and unconstitutional. Failing to do illegal and unconstitutional things because someone stopped you means you're still trying to do those illegal, unconstitutional things. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse, and it is also an incredible claim for the highest office in the land. And the head of the executive branch. Such a claim can only be supported by exceptional dishonesty or exceptional ignorance. But of course, the administration lies. I mean, they know they lie. They spread lies when they don't like the truth. When an aide tried to forcibly take a microphone away from Jim Acosta on Thursday, they claimed he had assaulted her as she's trying to force a microphone out of his hands. Oh, I have to remove this? Oh, wow, I think the time has come. I think the time has come to remove this sign. All the signs are going to be taken away as this moves from the site of the future Perfect Base 4 to the actual Perfect Base 4. There you go. A permanent change. Never be the same. Of course, known conspiracy theorists and liars Infowars then sped up the movement of the video to make it seem like he's moving violently. They tweeted that falsified video. The administration did. They cited that video as a reason for denying a reporter access to the White House. Oh shit. No, wait. Did I... When I said permanent earlier... that is 6. Shit, 1, 2, 3... bottom. Oh, it's gotta be the top of 6. Shit. Fuck. I'm out of fucking room. I guess I'm being honest. If I gotta go downstairs, I might as well drop all this shit off. So, oof. If I gotta go downstairs, drop all this stuff off, I'm gonna go to bed now. This episode has been as long as a regular episode, but the deal is that I'm gonna cut out a lot of stuff with the Nether, and I'm gonna come back to it. So I'm very sorry. So anyway, it's an obvious calculated distraction and a deliberate lie. It's unconscionable. They did it. They meant it. It is a big deal and has never been this bad. So, supposedly when the Senate reconvenes, Jeff Flake is going to introduce a bill. Try to find out about it, support it. I'll try to put a link in the bio. Bye.